Story, the minority leader Haruna Idrisu says the right to information bill passed by the House on Tuesday does not have enough policy credibility, explaining a last-minute amendment to make the information minister the supervising minister instead of the original intended position of the Attorney General was a bad move. Mr. Idrisu says the RTI is a corruption-fighting legislation and should be shepherded by the Attorney General.
An important legislation which can strengthen the hand of government and parliament and other allied institutions entrusted with the mandate to combat corruption. What corruption hates is darkness. A right to information bill shines the sun. So right to information belongs to what we in governance on corruption, a sunshine legislation. I believe that the government have already lost it. Lost it because the shepherding minister has been reduced to the Ministry of Information. Right to information is not about propaganda or government information or government misinformation. It's about the right of access to information to aid in exposing what decisions that the executive, parliament, and others may take. So in my view, to substitute the Attorney General for the Minister of Information itself waters down the policy credibility of a right to information. And Attorney General, because the mandate to combat corruption and to fight white-collar criminality, economic crime, and others rests on the shoulders of the Minister for Justice and learned Attorney General.
But holding a varied view is the former chairman of Parliament's Subsidiary Legislation Committee, Mahama Yariga.
No, I don't think so. I don't think the fact that it is now the Minister of Information has any impact negatively on the outcome, because essentially it is about the collection, the management, and access to information. When it comes to corruption issues, accountability issues, the Attorney General can always take them up, whether it's in the energy sector, it's in the housing sector, it's in the education sector. Any other sector has to do with the law. So when you violate it, the Attorney General's office can take it up. So we can't say that because it has been moved from the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General to information, then we are weakening it. Because when we do that, we're also creating a problem. We're creating the impression that, information-related issues are about fighting corruption. I'm saying that it's only in a minority of cases that accessing information is to enable you to fight corruption. When you, as journalists, seek information to report on social issues, on economic issues, is to aid general economic development. Honestly, there are very few cases where it is usually about corruption. Most of it is about, social economic development. I don't think that the media sits there just to expose wrongdoing. The media sits there to throw light on economic issues, on social issues, on development issues generally, and where corruption and abuse is impeding progress in these areas, then the media also throws light on that and wants information to be able to throw light on that. But principally, it is not about, fighting corruption or abuse.
Let's take you to the Western region, and the presiding judge at the Takoradi Harbour Circuit Court has ordered a pregnancy test at an accredited health facility to be performed on Rose Mausi Fiaku, the woman who stole a one-year-old baby from a mother in Takoradi. This was after the suspect pleaded guilty to the charge of child stealing in court and claimed, apparently, she was pregnant. She subsequently told the court she lost her pregnancy as a result of brutality she suffered at the hands of the police whilst in custody. Her boyfriend, on the other hand, Lawson Lati, has however denied any complicity in the crime. We'll bring you the report by Inata Lakwansa.
Residents of Takoradi besieged the Harbour Circuit Court, eager to observe proceedings of the child theft case. The suspect, Rose Mercy Fiako, who allegedly stole a 1-year-old baby at the Takoradi Market Circle last Friday, pleaded guilty to charges of child theft and begged for forgiveness. Her accomplice and boyfriend, Latte Lawson, denied any knowledge of the crime. Lawson's lawyer, Emmanuel Arthur, told the court his client was misled. He explained that Rose Mercy Fiako and Lawson had a baby together, but he traveled when the baby was just 4 months old. Upon return, he inquired the whereabouts of his son, and Rose delayed in bringing the son, only for her to bring a baby after 4 days of intense pressure.
He's been in a relationship with the lady. At a point, the lady said she had taken a seed. So he believed her. Unknown to him, that seed was aborted as a miscarriage. But she continued to give the impression to my client that indeed she had delivered. So occasionally during the night hours, she will bring the child to my client and show the child to him that this is your son. My client naively also believed that indeed that is his son. But after 4 months, he traveled and came back recently and started demanding his son from A1, the woman. So after about 3 or 4 days, the woman came back and said, this is your son, and dumped the boy on him. He also naively believed that this was his son. After 4 months, by then the child should be about 1 year, 1 month. So he sincerely also believed that this was his son. I even gave him a name, Ibrahim, and started foolishly parading around that, hey, this is my son. But then we all behave naively sometimes, which you cannot really punish him for that. So we'll see how the case will go. But I can tell you that this is not a matter that he's going to get a conviction for it, especially when the girl has pleaded guilty that he stole the child.
Rose Mercy Fiako then announced in court that she is pregnant. The court, however, ordered a pregnancy test to be conducted on Rose before she reappears on April 5, 2019. In Athalia Kwanzas reports for JoyNews.
Now let's move on. The lack of space and equipment at the neonatal intensive care unit at the Nsawam Government Hospital has forced officials to keep preterm babies on tabletops and on drawers. The situation, according to authorities there, predisposes these babies to all manner of infections, which ultimately could result in an increase in neonatal deaths. Komladom has more.
Another day. Same situation which has persisted here at the neonatal intensive care unit of Nsawam Government Hospital since the last 5 years. Evelyn recently delivered triplets at the facility. It's day 41 since then, and she remains at the hospital giving her 3 preterm babies some kangaroo care together with her mother. A form of care for preterm and low-weight babies in which the babies are kept chest to chest and skin to skin with their mother or caregiver to stimulate proper breathing in the baby and also help the mother produce adequate breast milk for the child.
According to nurses, the time I was a the baby has no. Me manenya inti say weight.
I have triplets. We've been admitted here so my babies can gain the right weight.
After 2 hours, Mama another 2 hours.
She will spend many more days here until the condition of her preterm children improves. Evelyn is just one of many mothers here keeping watch over their preterm babies. In an overcrowded makeshift room, 10 mothers are crammed here, breastfeeding their preterm babies. They occasionally wipe out sweat from their faces in the room with poor ventilation. Cindy has been here for nearly a week, but she's already frustrated.
There is no space here. Our babies are exposed to diseases. Even we, the mothers, are at risk.
The situation is compounded by the lack of equipment to hold most of the babies. Another mother, Comfort, who is feeding her preterm baby, laments there are not enough baby cots. Health officials have used curtains and cardboards to line the few cots here.
Yeah, man, baby cotton and so on. And yeah, baby cotton, Papa cry.
There are no proper cots. Some of the babies are put on tables.
And Tin Granny baby did that table, so and Mamma, Moya, and Tia Baba form now, Mokra, or more page.
Some of the preterm babies are kept and treated on tabletops. The neonatal intensive care unit, a room as small as a cubicle store, has only 2 functioning incubators. The more than 10 mothers here giving care to their premature babies are feeling the heat. Dr. Dorcas Esina is a medical staff at the facility.
The major challenges that we have is the space. Our space in here is small. I think our birth rate has increased. And then there's a lot of birth complications that we have now, like the complications that lead to giving birth to preterm babies. It has made our preterm deliveries higher, making our space very small. And in our NICU, it's not only preterm babies that we see, there is neonatal intensive care unit. So we see other sick babies there. So the space is very small, and then because our space is small, the things that we need to bring, like more cots, more incubators, we cannot bring it in there because the space is small.
Apart from the lack of space here for the mothers, the neonatal intensive care unit lacks some equipment too. Senior nursing officer here, Gladys Komodatam, has been explaining.
One of our biggest problems also is accommodation for the mothers. Most of them, when they come, some of them they come from far places, Kaswa and all that. And they have to be going home and coming to breastfeed their babies because we don't have accommodation here for them. So we are pleading for help. If we get accommodation here for them, it will help. When the babies are crying, you can easily go and call them. They come and breastfeed them. Also, we need some chairs here for them. Looking at it, it's only one chair that is here, and with many mothers here, it's really a problem for us.
In 2014, 542 newborn babies were admitted at the Nsawam Government Hospital. Out of the number, 82 were born prematurely. 11 of them died, representing 13%, and 18 of them were referred to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. In 2015, 3 babies died in January alone. The 3 were out of 20 babies taken to the intensive care unit. Between January and March 2017, 1,400 deliveries were recorded at the Nsawam Government Hospital. Out of the number, 39 of them were born prematurely, and 6 of them died. 6,000 babies are born at the Nsawam Government Hospital annually, 1 birth per every 2 hours. Goal 3 of the Sustainable Development Goals aims to end preventable deaths of newborns and children under 5 years of age, with all countries aiming to reduce neonatal mortality at least as low as 12% per 1,000 live births, and under 5 mortality to at least as low as 25 per 1,000 live births. Authorities here fear the figures could rise if the problem of congestion and lack of equipment is not fixed. And more importantly, the Sustainable Development Goal number 3, which sets out to end preventable deaths of newborns and children under 5 years by 2030, will remain a mirage. Principal Nursing Officer at the hospital, Augustina Bwedu Amwa, says the facility will make some strides if a new neonatal unit, spacious enough and stocked with equipment, is provided.
Where we are working is a borrowed space. We borrowed the space at the kids' ward. Finally, we borrowed the space at maternity, and that is where we are now. The main problem is with the space. And few things that we need to take care of the mothers and the babies, especially the babies, the preterm babies, their clothing, this incubator, even weighing scale. We didn't have any better weighing scale. There are so many things that we needed, but the problem was that we didn't have space. So we were limited. What we actually asked is that we will get space so that we can put all these things together to play,
to make this KMC and then the NICU work for us.
So such a time when this facility gets the required infrastructure to work, newborn mothers like Evelyn, Cindy and Comfort will have to endure the coming days and possibly.
And meanwhile, a $23 million facility for research into advanced health conditions has been commissioned at the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. Experts say the new laboratory will help deal with many infectious diseases such as HIV/AIDS, Ebola, Lassa and yellow fever in Ghana and the sub-region. The facility is an expansion of the old Noguchi Memorial Institute. Well, Joshua Smith was there and brings us the latest.
Experts at the Noguchi Memorial Institute believe the ultra-modern facility will help tackle contagious and complicated diseases such as antimicrobial resistance. They explain the condition where bacteria becomes resistant to antibiotics has made it necessary for more advanced research into that area. The new laboratory, according to a microbiologist at the bacteriology department of the Advanced Research Laboratories, Dr. Bevelin Ejiri, is well equipped to handle many complex cases.
We receive samples from clinical infections such as blood, urine, cerebrospinal fluid, etc. We also receive our samples from food and water and also from livestock. When we receive the samples, we culture the bacteria, we identify the bacteria species, and we also determine the antimicrobial agents that are effective against these bacterial pathogens. As you may be aware, antimicrobial resistance is a major public health problem. It is estimated that globally, about 10 million people will die from antimicrobial resistant pathogens if we don't do anything about it. So as a department, we are involved in a number of activities such as surveillance of the resistant bats. We are also involved in training of lab staff so that they will be able to correctly identify the bacterial species and then also do correct antimicrobial susceptibility testing.
Senior Minister Ya Osafo-Mafo, who commissioned the $23 million research institute, was happy about the investment and pledged Ghana will help maintain the facility.
As you yourself hinted, what we should be proud of is this center and living for the future. If this center is going to continue to provide the service into the future and continue to provide that cutting-edge research, then we must provide the right type of maintenance to this edifice.
Japanese ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Tsutomu Himino, challenged management and staff to maintain the facility to enable it serve its purpose for the expected lifespan.
Beyond today, besides research, maintenance is very important, particularly for this laboratory, which deal with the life and death issues. Good maintenance is crucial, and I'm very pleased this point was emphasized by the director, and also the JICA mentioned, Mr. Hoshi mentioned that we will continue with the support in that area.
Joshua Smith reports for JoyNews.
That's a good one there, but still on the show and remaining on health, we're going to have a great interaction on disease prevalence, especially plaguing young people. We're talking hypertension and its related blood pressure issues. And of course, we'll be speaking to a senior cardiologist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. But let's move on. Before you become a medical doctor, look at all the issues of health, you need to be a science student. And many of them in the current senior high schools are taking part in the regional national science and maths quiz qualifiers. And at Chimoto School, the Adan Senior High School and Ganata Senior High School have all booked places in this year's national science and maths quiz. The three were the final set of schools to qualify on the last day of the Greater Accra Regional Competition, and ultimately will join other schools to have qualified from other parts of the country. Maxwell Agbagba reports some of the schools say they are already poised to win the ultimate prize in the national competition.
The assembly hall of the Achimota School was filled with anxiety as the school battled to book a place in the national finals. The two-time winners were kicked out in the 1/8 stage during the 2018 national competition, and the journey to this year's final wasn't an easy feat as they came up against formidable schools including Wesley Grammar, English Yamanfro, and Nungwa Senior High Schools.
My diagonals intersect at right angles. Wesley Grammar School. Nungwa later, if possible. Rumbos. Nungwa.
Kite.
That is the answer. For 3 points. That brings us to the end of the contest. At the end of the contest, here are the scores. Nungwa SHS, 14 points. Wesley Grammar School, 26 points. English Amman from SHS, 31 points. Achimota School, 43 points. Well done, contestants. Congratulations, Achimota.
The two students who represented Achimota School, Adai Poku Nanayao and Agrippa Pakwisikwa, say they are more than ready to go all out to win the 2019 national competition.
Win the finals and bring the cup back. By God's grace, we bring the cup back to Achimota School. Yes, yeah, we put in a lot of hard work. We know that with all our efforts and God on our side, we will surely win this year.
How confident are you?
I'm very confident.
At the beginning, there's a lot of tension on you because you're expected to put out your best and win. But during the competition, settle down and we'll cool down and we're able to deliver.
Adan Senior High School beat Accra Girls, Kaneshi Senior High Technical School, and Holy Trinity Cathedral Senior High School to qualify to the national finals. Accra Girls scored the lowest points in that contest. The representatives of Adan Senior High School were overjoyed after making it through.
Last year, we didn't get it easy, but as we were coming, we had it in us that.
And for this year also, JoyNews is your ultimate TV partner for the National Science and Maths Quiz. We hope that during the series and the national coverage, you're going to enjoy how we bring all the stories to you. That'll be it for the latest news update.